when Balak tried to, when Balak hired Bilam to come curse the Eden, as we all know in the beginning, Bilam was saying shvachim of the Jews, and at the end he tried to say curses, and everything turned over. Whatever he said turned over to brachas anyway. But one of the things that he said was, his hein kalav yakum charis nasa lo yishkav. They don't go lie down ad yochal teref till they eat their prey. I guess it means v'dam chalolim yishter, and the blood of dead people they'll drink. That's what the pasuk says. And Rashi explains, what does that mean? So Rashi says, hein am kalav yakum k'shem oimdim mishnasa, when they get up in the morning shachris. Hem is gavrim kalavi chari, like a lion, like a leopard, a small lion. Lachtoif es a mitzvah, is to grab mitzvahs. In the morning, a Jew gets up. The first thing he does is he grabs mitzvahs. If you don't, regel vasa. So he has different. He's going after regel vasa. I guess because after he stood up already. So after he stood up, it says lil bosh tzitzis, likras krishma ulaniach tefillin. So that itself is a question. Rashi says he puts on his tzitzis. He says Kriyishma, and he puts on his tefillin. We know we put on tefillin first, and then Kriyishma is a whole machlokes. If there's a different gears in Rashi, maybe actually meant to say tefillin and Kriyishma. Some people, like Hasidim especially, they have a minute that right away when they get up in the morning, they put on the tzitzis and they say Kriyishma right away before they put on the tefillin. And the issue with that is that it says called Kriyishma below tefillin. Anybody who says Kriyishma without tefillin, he's made Eid Sheker be'atzmai. Because they say and Shema, and you're not wearing it. So that's a whole question. Some people want to be medayek from this Rashi that you could say Kriya Shema right away, and when you put on tefillin, you'll say Kriya Shema again.
But now you say Kriya Shema.
Yeah, only time that you could put on tefillin. Yeah, and the time not you say Kriya Shema without tefillin. Right. It means at the time that you're supposed to be wearing tefillin, and you don't put on the tefillin, when you say Kriya Shema, it's made Eid Sheker be'atzmai, the Gemara says. But that's the first part. We're here to deal with the second part. La yishkav, they don't go to sleep. Alayla amitasoi, they don't go to sleep at night on their beds. Achu oichel umechabel chalmazik habal the toifer. Achu uchal, till it destroys any mazikim that come that try to destroy us. We get rid of the mazikim before we go to sleep. How do we do that? How do we get rid of all the mazikim? Kaire eshema amitasoi. A person says krishma on his bed before he goes to sleep. Umafkid ruchay biyat hamakoyim, and he puts his nefesh in the hands of Hashem. So Rashi says, what does it mean, la yishkav ad yochal teref? Teref means he doesn't go to sleep till he eats up his teref, means the mazikim that he get rid of before he goes to sleep. Mazikim. Mazikim in English is? Demons. He gets rid of all the demons beforehand, and then he goes to sleep. So how does he get rid of all the mazikim, all the demons? By Kaire Eshema Amitase, he says Krishma Lamita. He says Krishma, and that's how he gets rid of all the mazikim, all the demons. Now, this Rashi, we see from this Rashi, that why do we say Krishma Lamita? Rashi says to get rid of the demons, the mazikim that come to us during the night. But not everyone agrees to that. Not everybody agrees. That's the reason why. The Gemara in Bracha says, the Gemara says, Amrei B'Shur Ben Levi, Afa Pisha Kara Adam Kriya Shema Beis HaKnesses, even though a person said Shema in Shul, Ma'ariv, mitzvah l'kroisei al mitasei. It's a mitzvah to say it again when you go to sleep al mitasei. Amar Rav Yossi Ma'ikra, what's the pasuk? Rigzu v'atachto imru b'lvavchem al mishkavchem. The Gemara says al mishkavchem means on your bed when you're going to sleep, and then v'daimu sela, and then you go to sleep. V'daimu lasha and daimim, quiet, and you go to sleep. So that's the pasuk how we know we say Kriya Shema. That's one pasuk. And there's another Gemara later on. The Gemara says, how do we know we say Amar Rav Yitzchak Chal Kairi Kriya Shema mitasai ilu oichiz cherev shastei piyais biyadai. It's like it's holding a sword of two sides, sharp on both sides, biyadai. Shenever it says in pasuk and Tehillim, we say it every day in davening. Reim ma'is kel begroinam. The shvach of Hashem is in our throats. V'cherev b'fiyais biyadam. And they're holding a sword, a two-sided sword in his hand. And then it says, another pasuk that we see that you're supposed to say Kriya Shema before you go to sleep. And Rashi says over there also, What's the cherub if he has biyada? Why do you have to have the sword in your hand before you go to sleep? Says Rashi, laharagas mazikim, to kill the mazikim, the demons that are coming to you at night. So it's also Rashi says over here in Gemara that the reason why we say Kriyish Malamita is to get rid of the demons, the mazikim that come around the night. So that is a very famous Magen Avram. Could be so some of you know it already. In Hilchos Kriyish Ma, so it says in Hilchos Kriyish Ma, Tzimur Reish Lametes, Koira al mitasai, a person says Kriyish Ma on his bed, Pasha Rishayno Shal Shema, the first Pasha of Shema you have to say, not more than that. Umavorech hamapil chevlei shina aleinoi, and it makes the brichas hamapil. After he says Shema, he says the bracha of hamapil. Now, most Sidurim, it says the opposite. Most of them says hamapil first, and then it says Shema. But the Mechaber Paskins, you say Shema first, and then you say hamapil.
It's fine in Chassidim, they say after.
They say after, so we'll see. We'll see where it comes from. Well, that's the Mechaber. The Mechaber says you say Shema, and after you say Shema, you say hamapil. The Magen Avram says that the Rambam says not that way. The Rambam says the Rambam Svirlei Shagam Shema Omer Ba'achreinu. You say Shema after you say hamapil. That's what the Rambam says. You say hamapil, then you say Shema. So the Rambam holds hamapil Shema, and the Mechaber says Shema and then hamapil. And what's the reason? And the Magen Avram says, because it's a machlokes, what's the reason why we say Kriyish Malamita? Till now we said the reason is because of the mazikim. Says the Magen Avram, it's a machlokes why we say it. It depends. If you're saying it because of the mazikim, so it's something to protect you when you're sleeping at night, so then you say hamapil. What's hamapil? Hamapil is a bracha that we're saying before we go to sleep. There's some people that say that the reason why in the morning, when we say l'chai neshama, it's not pesach bebracha, because it's going continuing with the brichas hamapil that we said at night, the night beforehand. Brichas hamapil is something that is right before we go to sleep. It's a bracha before we go to sleep. Now, if Shema, I'm saying Shema to a protection, b'fnei hamazikin, because you want to protect yourself from mazikin, then it's something to do with going to sleep. Going to sleep, I'm saying Shema to protect from the mazikin. You say hamapil, and after hamapil, you could be busy with things that have shaykhs to go into sleep, which is Shema. But if you hold Shema, it's for a different reason. Like the Rambam says, the reason why we say Shema is for a different reason. When a Jew goes to sleep at night, what's he thinking about? He has to think about Hashem when he goes to sleep at night. He shouldn't be thinking about everything else. I know most of us have a lot on our mind, whether it's our business or it's other issues that we have. And if people go to sleep at night, you're supposed to go to sleep at night. The Gemara says, "B'toich divrei Torah," from Torah on your mind before you go to sleep. So how do you do that? By saying Shema at night. So the last thing you did was you said Shema, and you should fall asleep right after you say Shema. So you go to sleep with divrei Torah, thinking about divrei Torah. So now if I'm saying Shema for that reason, to fall asleep with divrei Torah, then it's a separate mitzvah. Say Shema before you go to sleep. Has nothing to do with mazikim. Says the Magen Avram, the Mechaber holds the reason why you say Kriyish Malamita is that you should go to sleep and take divrei Torah. If that's the reason, then you cannot say it after hamapil, because then it's a hefsek. Hamapil is a bracha on going to sleep, and Kriyish Shema is a mitzvah to go to sleep and take divrei Torah before you go to sleep. There's no shaykhis, you cannot say it Shema after hamapil, it's a hefsek. But if you say that Kriyish Malamita is to get rid of mazikim, to protect you at night, then it's not a hefsek. You say hamapil and then you say Shema. That's what the Magen Avram says. And we'll see there's a lot of differences between the two reasons. And one obvious reason is if Shema is a mitzvah to say it because you're supposed to go to sleep and take divrei Torah, so says the Magen Avram, do ladies have to say Kriyish Malamita? A lady is mechuyev to say Kriyish Malamita. So says the Magen Avram, it's a mitzvah saseh shazman grama. comes every day at night before you go to sleep, that is a potter. That's what the Magen Avraham says. Krishma is mitzvah seisha zman grama, nashma potters.
But it's not a specific time. It's when you go to sleep.
It's every night when you go to sleep. Tefillin have a specific time in the morning when you get up. You put on tefillin.
No, there's a time frame in which you should put it on.
Yeah, so here also before you go to sleep. At night before you go to sleep. By day you don't say Shema. If someone goes to sleep by day, right? If someone goes to sleep by day, they say Shema. You don't say Shema.
Even if somebody works at nighttime all night and always goes to sleep all day long.
If someone has a night shift and he's always a night shift and he goes to sleep every day in the morning, he's not mechuyev to say Shema and not a mapal either. It's a chiyuv for at night. Because we're looking for at night. So any mitzvah say that's only at night, it's called Zman Grama.
Shavuos night, everyone misses that, right? The mitzvah.
Yeah. Shavuos night, you don't say Kriya Shema and you don't say Amapil. But so it's called Zman Grama. Says the Magen Avraham, since it's called Zman Grama, it's a mitzvah seisha as Zman Grama. Noshim apaturais. Noshim don't have to say Kriya Shema Lamita.
And after the Asaidah, do you say it?
Oh, we'll get to the Seder. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. Seder night. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
But that's an allowed miss.
That's an allowed miss. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
That's the nighttime allowed.
But the Magen Avraham says,
So then by the Rashi, they're not protected from shaving.
oh, one second. Why don't ladies say it? Today ladies do say it, but I guess times in Magen Avraham I didn't say it. After the Sfirlehem keeping the Eine Noig Ela Balayla, since Kriya Shema Lamita is only by night, Peturim the Potter the Hava Shazman Grama. K'moshe Peturim Kriya Shema by day, the same to Kriya Shema at night. It's mitzvah seisha Shazman Grama. This is all very good if Kriya Shema is a mitzvah to fall asleep protective in Torah. But if it's a protection from Azikim,
What's the difference?
well, ladies don't have to be protected. Ladies also have to be protected from Azikim. Right? Anything that you're doing to protect yourself, forget about mitzvah seisha Shazman Grama. Why don't ladies have to be protected from Azikim? So, in Halacha, the Sharet Tzion says the ladies should say Kriya Shema Lamita. Why? Because ladies also have to be protected. If you hold the reason is because of Mazikim, then ladies should say Kriya Shema Lamita.
That's assuming you hold that they have the same power that they have at the time of the war.
Yeah, but we say it. Once the Masakin to say it because of that reason. So today we say Kriya Shema Lamita because of Mazikim. You say today is no Mazikim. Who knows?
But both reasons can apply. But both reasons can apply.
You're right.
You have a Torah issue and a
Right,
Mazik
so,
issue.
okay.
Both can apply.
Right, so there's a machlokes. Right, the machlokes what the reason is.
Also, then for sure they should.
Right, so there's a machlokes what the reason is. So let's say you want to go to Chumrah and you want to take both reasons, right? And we'll see about that soon. You want to go to Chumrah both reasons. So you have an issue. What do you say first? Shema or Mapil? So they have an issue. But for ladies to say it, if you take the reason because of Azikim, the lady should say it. And the Sharet Tzion says, "V'masha kosta the Magen Avraham the Noshim and Tzarech LaKreisa, Hisid Olav HaEli Rabba argues on him. Anyway, ladies today are like to say Kriya Shema Lamita. Ladies want to have a ma'ariv, but to say Kriya Shema Lamita. Kriya Shema Lamita even ladies say. And the reason is because of the Mazikim.
What about an onen? Why should they not be?
That's a very good question.
What about what?
That's a very good question.
Someone's funeral's the next day.
Onen.
The Onen is Potman HaMitzvahs. I just put them as
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a very good thing. Maybe you should talk about say Kriya Shema Lamita. I don't know. But I have an answer to that. I have to check into it. Because if it's for Mazikim, you want to do it to protect yourself. Protection, everybody needs protection.
Probably more vulnerable in
More
that
violent
state
at that
anyway.
time, yeah. That's a very good question if Einar should say it. So that another question. Pesach night.
Can you say it having in mind that you're not fulfilling the mitzvah? You're doing it for the sakana?
No, but Einar don't do any mitzvahs.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If you're saying it
Oh, you can say it.
for the sakana,
You have in mind.
Yeah, you can say
you have in mind, I'm not doing
it for the mitzvah, I'm doing it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Einar should say Kriya Shema Lamita to protect himself
With that in mind.
with that in mind. I'll have to. I can't pass it now. I'll have to check into it. Very good question. But Pesach night, now we know it says in Halacha the Pesach night we don't say Kriya Shema Lamita. We don't say the whole Kriya Shema Lamita. There's a lot of psukim. We say Biyat Chav Keduch, like the Gemara says. Yeshiv say Shali, and all these things that we say Pesach, that we say in a regular night. On Pesach night, we don't say it. The only thing we say on Pesach night, says the Ramah, is Parsha Rishayim. It's Parsha Rishayim we say on Pesach night. Now, why are we saying Parsha Rishayim for? Why don't we say the whole Kriya Shema Pesach night? Because Leil Shemurim. Leil Shemurim, you have to worry about the Mazikim. Therefore, you'll say you won't say the whole Kriya Shema. If Kriya Shema is because of Mazikim, then even Shema you shouldn't say. Even Parsha Rishayim you don't have to say, because it's Mazikim. So why do we say it? Why do we say it? We say it because of the reason that it's a mitzvah to go stimulate Divrei Torah, and that has nothing to do with Mazikim. So the rest of the psukim that we say, those things that we say, that's all for Mazikim, that everybody agrees to. And therefore all those psukim you won't say Leil Shemurim. And those psukim ladies for sure say, because that everyone agrees to is because of Mazikim. But Pesach night, we say Parsha Rishayim.
It's interesting because you think you still have the Seder in your mind. You don't need to say it.
Yeah, some people do, some people don't.
Some people are too drunk.
But so that's one nafkamina of ladies to say. There's another big nafkamina here also. What happens a lot of times is in the Gemara, in the beginning of brachas, the Gemara says, what's the Zman of Kriya Shema? When do we say Kriya Shema? The Gemara has a machlokes exactly when the Zman of Kriya Shema starts. In those days, the times of the Gemara, no one davened Ma'ariv at night. By the time it became dark, everybody was home already. No one hung out in the streets at night. There was no lights. If you didn't get home enough time to eat supper before it got dark, then you ate in the dark, unless you had a candle. So everybody was basically home already before it got dark. So where did they daven? They didn't go out again to go daven Ma'ariv. It was dark outside. No one was in the streets at night. So they davened Ma'ariv earlier when it was still light outside. And the Gemara, that's where the plug comes from. Yeah, and if you see in the Paiskim that in those days everyone davened Ma'ariv after plug, Mincha before plug, Ma'ariv after plug. Look in the Magen Avram and in the Leisek Kalim and Hilchos Kriya Shema, Hilchos Ma'ariv, they all davened Ma'ariv early. Because by night everything was dark and nobody was around in the streets anymore.
It was sakana.
It was sakana to be out, yeah. And besides, even practically, there's no lights outside. Practically, it was hard to get around. Today, there's lights all over the place. And even in your home, there's nothing to do. Unless it's out by a candle. Today, you can do whatever you want because you have lights. So at night, in those days, it was quiet. And the Gemara said at the beginning of brachas, the Rishonim said at the beginning of brachas, the Zman Kriya Shema is when it gets dark. So we say Shema in Shul, said the Rishonim, when it's light outside. So whenever Yotzeh, our Chiyuv of Kriya Shema, we say when it's still light outside. If Kriya Shema is at night, whenever Yotzeh. So the Rishonim say that when you say Kriya Shema Lamita, you are fulfilling your Chiyuv of Kriya Shema. That's what the Rishonim say. So now, if you, let's say Friday night, right? You daven Ma'ariv early, come home, eat the Suda, and some people, right when they finish the Suda, or middle of the Suda, whatever it is, they'll say Kriya Shema. When it comes time, they'll say Kriya Shema. So for those people, the Kriya Shema they're saying at night, when they go to sleep, has no shaykhs to the mitzvah of Kriya Shema of Ma'ariv. You may fulfill that chiyuv. But people who don't say Kriya Shema, people who say Kriya Shema at night because they missed it out by Ma'ariv, it was too early. So when they go to sleep, they're saying Shema. Now they're saying Shema to fulfill that chiyuv. If you're fulfilling that chiyuv at night, everyone's going to agree that Kriya Shema is not just for Mazikim. Maybe you'll have Mazikim in it also, you get rid of Mazikim also. But I'm fulfilling my chiyuv of Kriya Shema that I missed earlier because it was too early. In that case, everyone would agree that you say Hamapil, you say Shema, and then Hamapil. Because everyone's going to agree that case is a hefsek. Because then you're saying it to fulfill the chiyuv they had earlier. It's only when I'm saying it for Mazikim, then you can say it after Hamapil. But if you're saying it to fulfill that old chiyuv, they weren't Mekayim yet the Kriya Shema, you have to say Shema and then Hamapil afterwards.
If you're doing it for both reasons?
Yeah, if you're doing it for both
Say
reasons.
Shema first.
Yeah, say Shema first. If you Mekayim that mitzvah, it's a hefsek. Now, for some reason today, a lot of people don't say Hamapil. Don't say a mapil. It seems like it was an issue not just now, times of the poskim already, that people never say a mapil. The reason why people don't say a mapil is because they're scared that they're not going to fall asleep right away. They have to get back out of bed, take a drink, whatever they have to do. And there's a hefsek. After you say a mapil, there's a loch. You're not allowed to speak out. Now I'll take a drink. So what do? What do we do? So I think from there came the thing that most people don't say a mapil because if they don't fall asleep, they're stuck. It's bracha levatala. And we all know that if you say a mapil and you have to fall asleep, you don't fall asleep. When you don't have to fall asleep, you do fall asleep. But when you know you have to fall asleep, you all know that you can't fall asleep. Right? You want to take a nap one day because you'll be up late tonight. That night you can't fall asleep because you have to sleep. So that's an issue. So you say a mapil, now I know I have to go to sleep, then you won't fall asleep. Even though they say there's an old joke when I was a kid, they used to say, what's the best sleeping pill? Huh? Do I? No?
Gemara.
Hamapil. That was the joke they said. Hamapil is the best sleeping pill, but it doesn't work. Yeah, Gemara is not the best thing. You take a Gemara in a second, you're asleep. Or another thing.
Anything got to the Torah.
Yeah, another thing is
Stop you right away.
if I have a different thing. Whenever my wife asks me to do something, I'm sleeping right away. I'm asleep. But
And benching.
Oh yeah.
Benching. Friday night.
Benching Friday night, you're asleep already. Yeah.
How cold that is.
Yeah, but the truth is another big school to fall asleep is to say Kriya Shema. Because if you say Kriya Shema Lamita, guaranteed before you finish, you're tired of sleep.
And did you fulfill the mitzvah?
Oh, so that's a question. You feel the mitzvah. And this was an issue already in times of the Chafetz Chaim. Because the Chafetz Chaim had the Shiloh. What do you do? What should you do? So there's two things there. First of all, why people don't say a mapil. And second, what do we do in the Maisa? Do we say a mapil first or Shema first? So let's first speak about the people who are saying Hamapil. So the Mishnah Berurah says, which one should you say first? It says like this very interesting Mishnah Berurah over here. V'nira, the Lamaisa is naheg adam kafi tevoy. A person should be noheg according to his teva. A person knows his teva, his nature, what he's like. What does it mean according to his teva? Dahainu. Im tevoy lehiradei be'emsa krishma. If he usually falls asleep while they're saying krishma lamita, so then tayv yetish yagde b'chas amapil ma'ad efshe. Say amapil first, because everything else in middle krishma is extras. There's a lot of things to add on to krishma, the V'rechacha Hashem, all the things we say 3 times. These are all, you say amapil, krishma, and then those things are afterwards. So a person knows he's going to start saying krishma, and he falls asleep usually while he's saying krishma, then say amapil first. Otherwise, every night you're going to lose amapil. Fall asleep while you're saying krishma. I will see in a second if you're supposed to say krishma, if you could say krishma lying down. There's obviously someone who's saying krishma in his bed lying down. A person saying krishma standing, most people, there are some that are not, won't fall asleep. But this is obviously talking people who are saying krishma lying in bed. I will get to that in a second if you could say that. So a person whose teva is, his nature is to fall asleep while he's saying krishma, he should say a mappa first. Ma'ad efshe. V'im ein tivoi lezeh. If his teva is nature, he stays up throughout the whole Shema. Toiv yaisir la'achar brichas amapel ad lebesayif. It's better to say mapel afterwards. So a person who knows he'll be up throughout the whole Kriya Shema Lamita, say Kriya Shema Lamita, and then say mapel afterwards. But if a person feels that he's going to fall asleep during Kriya Shema, say a mapel, and then say Kriya Shema. Now about saying Kriya Shema lying down, so the halacha is if you're not saying Shema, regular Shema when you're lying. So he says like this, the Mishnah Berurah, the lechatchila ein kedai leilech v'lishtkar v'lekreisa b'shchiva. The lechatchila, it's not kedai to go to bed and to say Kriya Shema while you're lying. Afilu kshu sheichev al tzidei mamish, even if you're lying on your side. Of course, if you're lying on your back, on your front, you can't say Kriya Shema. But even if you're lying on your side, and Chosam Amaga Avram, this is all dafka k'shekayir zu Kriya Shema l'Shem chayva. This whole din that you shouldn't say Kriya Shema when you're lying down is in those days when the Kriya Shema Lamita that was saying was to fulfill your chiv of Shema that you said too early in Shul. Shespal Aris Mibar Yoim. Now, it's Tzarech Ata Lechavan Lekaya Mitzvah Say the Krishma. The Kach Tzarech Lezor B'chol Prater. Aval Im Kfar Kara Bizmana. V'Koyra Ata Rachmish of Krishma Shalamito. Now you're only saying Shema because of Krishma Shalamito. Muta Lechatchila Lekroisa B'Shchiva. It's muta Lechatchila to say it while you're lying down. V'yesh Machmirim Lechatchila Lekroisa B'Amida. Or B'Yeshiva or sitting. Ochen and Kfar Shokhav is lying already. The Kula Amma Muta Lahatas Altzida going aside for Likra. So here's a big nafkamina. If it's Friday night, if you daven Ma'ariv early, and you didn't say over Kriya Shema a second time, and you want to go to bed and say Kriya Shema like you usually do every night lying down, no. That everyone agrees you shouldn't do that. Say Kriya Shema when you're standing, because now I'm fulfilling my Iker Chiv Kriya Shema, which I didn't fulfill earlier.
Standing or sitting?
Standing, sitting, whatever you want. Either
It's
or.
not lying.
That's not lying.
Say Shema sitting.
Yeah, sitting. So you're sitting, standing, you don't have to stand. Only according to Beshama you have to stand. We don't pass like Beshama.
And that serves also as your Kriyat Shema Lamita. Are you sitting?
Yeah, no, that could serve as a Kriya Shema Shalamita also.
Because it's right before
It
you go to
could,
bed.
right, that's before you go to bed. But if you're saying Shema then, you should say it sitting or standing, not lying. Because that you're fulfilling a chiv. But let's say in a regular night. In the winter for sure. You're down in Ma'ariv and it's dark outside, and you fulfilled your chiv of Kriya Shema. Now, when I'm saying Kriya Shema Lamita, it's just to fulfill the chiv of Kriya Shema Lamita. There, it's okay if you say it lying down in bed. Then it's okay.
Only on the side.
Only on the side. Not lying on your back, not lying on your front. Stamazay says in Allah you should never sleep on your back or on your front. For sure, if you're saying Kriya Shema, you shouldn't be lying on your back and saying it.
So then, then sometimes you could be saying Hamapel first, and sometimes you can be saying Shema first.
Right.
It really depends on the time of year and what happened in your day that day.
Right, 100%. So like this, if it's a regular night, we daven Ma'ariv, you're not fulfilling the chiv of Kriya Shema at night before you go to sleep, then Hamapil, you could say beforehand if you want. And especially if you're lying in bed and you're saying Hamapil and Shema and you're worried that some time throughout Kriya Shema you're going to fall asleep, you say Hamapil first and then Shema. But if you're fulfilling your Chiv Kriya Shema, it's a Friday night, and you're coming to fulfill your Chiv Kriya Shema because you didn't say Kriya Shema yet, you said it too early, then everyone agrees you say Shema and then Hamapil. What you could do is, you could say Shema and Hamapil, and then say the other psukim afterwards. The other psukim afterwards you could say after Shema.
That wouldn't be hefsek?
No, that everyone agrees is only from Azikin. The psukim that you say after Shema, not the first parsha of Shema, the other psukim that you say, everyone agrees those should be after Hamapil. Those should be after Hamapil for sure, because those are definitely from Azikin. We're only talking right now the Kriya Shema itself that we're saying. So in a regular night, in the winter, when you Yetzi Chiv Kriya Shema already, and now you're going to sleep at night and you can say Kriya Shema Lamita, then you could say it lying, and you should say Hamapil first, unless you know for sure you're going to be up throughout the whole Kriya Shema Lamita.
In the middle of your meal, you said Kriya Shema in order to fulfill the mitzvah on Friday night.
Right.
In order to fulfill the mitzvah of Kriya Shema.
Then you Yetzi Chiv Kriya Shema.
But let me ask you this. Now this is 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now it's 11:30 and you're going to bed and you say Kriya Shema. Is that okay?
Yeah, so that Kriya Shema
It's separate.
is separate. You Yetzi Chiv. Once
But
you
if you're going to bed and using one Kriya Shema, so
yeah, so you're going to bed and using the Kriya Shema to be fulfilled the Chiv, which I know is a common problem. A lot of people don't say Kriya Shema over again until they go to sleep, and a lot of people say it in their beds, and then halfway through Kriya Shema, the next one they wake up, 1 second, did I finish Shema? Did I not finish Shema? And it's an issue. First of all, it's an issue that you shouldn't, that Kriya Shema you shouldn't be saying lying down anyway. You should be saying it sitting, because that's Ikar Chiv. And second of all, if you fell asleep in the middle, you're just Mavatal, and Mitzvah say Deraisa. Because when you said earlier, you weren't yet at all. And then also you should say all 3 parshas over again. So you have to say all 3 parshas over, and it's Friday night after the Suda, and you're lying in your bed on a late Shabbos, the chances are that you're going to make it through all 3 parshas are very, very slim. That's the Metzias. I think for everybody, almost everybody.
Falling asleep.
Yes, the chance that you're going to make it through all 3 parshas of Shema lying in your bed Friday night is very, very slim. Therefore, it's Kedai, after the Shabbos Suda Friday night, to say 3 parshas of Shema. And if you're going to sleep right away afterwards, okay, you can stand up from the table, go to bed, and say and say the psukim if you want.
And hamapil.
And a mapil. That you can do in your bed if you want. But to say the whole Shema in your bed Friday night, or anytime you're running into the Chiv, is not a good idea. Because the chances that you're going to make it through is not the greatest. For now, the whole thing was saying a mapil. A lot of people don't say a mapil, why not? So the Mishnah Berurah brings down, the Halacha brings down, how about if I said a mapil and I didn't fall asleep? I get up now, I see I can't fall asleep, and I want to go take a drink, what happens? What do? So the Bir Halacha says, he brings that from a Chai Adam. The Chai Adam says, the person said a mapil, and then he can't fall asleep afterwards. He can't fall asleep. He's tossing and turning and can't fall asleep. It's not called the bracha levatala. Why? Hamapil chevle sheina is not going on me personally. I'm saying a bracha. If I say a BaMidbar and I want to drink, that's bracha for myself. Hamapil chevle sheina says the Chai Adam is a bracha that Hashem helps people, puts people to sleep in the world. Now, if I don't fall asleep, okay, it's a bracha for everybody, not for my personal going to sleep. That's what the Chai Adam says. The Bir Halacha doesn't like that, and he argues, and he says no. That bracha is a bracha, a personal bracha for every person. Hamabel chevle sheina al einai, on my own eyes. Therefore, it's a personal bracha. And the Bir Halacha is very machmir that if someone says hamapil, you can't be mafsek afterwards. Shouldn't drink for nothing. And if you do, it could be to bracha levatala. And that's why some people want to stay away from it. L'maisa, Rav Poskim don't go with this. Rav Poskim say like the Chai Adam, and they say if you say a mapil and you don't fall asleep, don't worry about it. And if you feel like you need a drink afterwards, go take a drink. It's fine. Most Poskim pass like the Chai Adam. And therefore, if someone's scared to say a mapil because he's worried about bracha levatala, and he's not going to say a mapil at all because of that, it's okay. Say a mapil and don't think about the bracha levatala, and then they guarantee to fall asleep right away. But if you're worried about bracha levatala, you're not going to fall asleep. So don't worry about bracha levatala. And even if you don't fall asleep, you'll be fine. You can go ahead and take a drink if you want afterwards. That's not a problem. The big question is, when we first married people, you say hamapil, and then your wife asks you a question. What do you do? So you say, no, I can't answer anything.
Good luck.
It's not everybody to ask their own. I'm not going to answer that question. I know when we were kids, we used to if our parents want something, we would say "Malpa" right away. And no, I can't talk anymore. You don't say anything. Yeah. You're saying Shema. No, so that's not hefsek. If you hold Shema as hefsek, say before Mapil. If you hold Shema as hefsek, say before Mapil. But if you hold Shema as not hefsek, say Shema after Mapil. And the other thing to say after Mapil also, but that's all you could say. You can't speak anything you want afterwards. You can't say whatever you want. But if there's an issue of shalom bias, and that's not to say a mapil afterwards, not to say a mapil, it's better to say a mapil, and it is what to rely on. The Chai Adam says that if you're mafsik after hamapil, it's okay. What some people do is they'll say the whole Kriyishma Lamita and everything, and then if the wife talks to them, they'll answer right before they're ready to go to sleep. They'll say a mapil, then fall asleep. Which is also an eitzah. If someone sees every single night, he's saying a mapil, and every single night he's being mafsik afterwards, there's another eitzah. Say everything, leave a mapil till later on, right before you're ready to go to sleep, you say a mapil.
Is this prohibition?